Hey guys, I wanted to make a tutorial to show you guys how to use some of the tools in Microsoft Word. A lot of you are typing directly onto documents from Microsoft Word, which is totally fine, but I think it will make your life a lot easier if you know how to use some of the tools. Specifically, the equation editor is going to be really helpful when you're working on math. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick tutorial on that. Alright, so if you want to create an equation using Microsoft Word, you're going to go to Insert up at the top, and then there's a button over on the right side that says Equation, and you want to click on that. And it's going to say Type Equation here. You're going to have all these different options up here under Design where you can change the format, use mathematical symbols, so it gives you a lot of options that you don't have just using the regular keyboard. Alright, so let me just give you an example of an equation. I'm going to type a couple different ones because I'm using this tutorial for all my classes. So if I'm trying to type, let's say, an exponential function, I can obviously type like regular on my keyboard, but I can also use these functions up here at the top. So let's say I want to add something to a power. I can use this little script menu, and this one right here is going to allow me to use a superscript, basically raise something to an exponent. And then you see these little boxes you can fill in. Let's say I want to put parentheses around my base. I can go to this brackets button, and here's the parentheses. Let's say my base is a fraction. This is a decay function. I can use the fraction button to set up a fraction. They have different styles of fractions. I'm going to use this first one. So let's say my base is 1/3, and then my exponent is x. So it makes a really neat equation rather than trying to do it using the keyboard. So I'm seeing a lot of this. I get what that means, but do you see how much neater this is? And it just makes it a lot easier than trying to figure out how to use the keyboard to put the symbols in that you need. Let me just show you one more. So again, I go to the Insert button, Equation. Let's say I want to set up a proportion. Alright, I can go to my Fraction button, set up a fraction. Let's say I have 2/3 equals, set up another fraction, x over 50. Alright, so do you see how much neater it looks? You also have, let me create one more. You also have all these symbols up here that you can use. So you've got the greater than, less than, you've got your multiplication, division, different equal signs and things like that. You can scroll down and there's more. There's also other lists. So this is the basic math list. You're going to see most of what you need here. But they've got other lists here if you need, like for geometry, if you need the symbol that looks like an angle. They've got all these different lists that you can look at. But most of what you need is going to be in the basic math menu, so you probably won't need to switch out of that. So again, let me just show one more. Let's say we have y equals, I'm just going to make a linear equation, 1/2 x plus 5. And you can still use the buttons on your keyboard if they're there, but you just have all these other options with the equation editor. Alright, the other thing I wanted to show you was the drawing tool. I know for my on-level classes we've been doing some box plots, and some of you are having trouble figuring out how to do the box plots on the actual Word document. So one option is you can draw with these drawing tools. There's a pen. You can, change the colors, change the size of the pen. There's different options here for items to write with. We have a pencil, a highlighter, all kinds of stuff. So you can do that. I am terrible at drawing freehand with the mouse. Mine always looks awful, so I probably wouldn't use this tool, but it is there for those of you that are maybe a little better at this than I am. But yeah, you can draw a box plot using this. Another option, if you're terrible at drawing with these like I am, there's also, you can insert shapes and kind of draw with shapes instead if you prefer that. So like, for example, if I want to make the tails of my box plot, I can use the lines and create actual straight lines because I can't make straight lines with my pen. And you can change the color of your lines if you need to add, more lines. Obviously for a box plot, we're going to need the walls of the box plot. And once you make your line, you can move it around and make it longer or shorter, change the color of it. But you can see I can create a box plot that way, or I could even use like the rectangle to create the box of the box plot. You can get rid of the fill, no fill, change the color of the outline if you want to. So there's all kinds of options for drawing on Microsoft Word. It's just kind of what's your preference. I cannot draw, obviously, with the drawing tool. I have to use more of like the shapes if I want to draw something. Alright, so that's another option. So those are just a couple quick tools I thought might make your life a little easier if you're trying to use Microsoft Word. Just play around with it a little bit, see if you can maybe even find something better than what I'm doing. There's a lot of tools on here. Alright, let me know if you have any questions.